There are some new Otsutsukis coming in Boruto, and no one was able to catch this hint for over 65 chapters. Remember when the Kara organization was shown with multiple pictures of the Kama seals? There was this one illustration that does not seem to be a Kama at all. So what exactly is this symbol, and how could it help us to figure out the new Otsutsuki mystery? Let's find out. When the Kara was introduced, we got to see this frame where the different stages of a Kama seal was shown. All of them have made their way into the series, except this one. At first I thought it might have something to do with Aida and Daemon, but when I dig deep into the symbolism of this shape, I found something really mind-blowing, so hear me out. This 7-pointed star is known as the heptagram. This shape seems to have a lot of significance in a number of cultures across the world. A common thing that I noticed in many cultures is the fact that on each point of the heptagram, there is a unique shape that has its own significance. I feel like Kishimoto had taken inspiration from the symbolism of the 7-pointed star while coming up with the missing Kama. The symbol on the third point is way too similar to the one that Amado uses on Delta's capsules. The significance of the third point in mythology turns out to be the power to bring love in all aspects. We know that Delta is a clone of Amado's daughter, whom he loved with his whole heart. The affection for Akebi made him come up with a staggering plan, and that's why this symbol beneath her capsule is a straight reference to the power of love. Not to mention, the same symbol was used by Hidan while performing the Jashin ritual. So what if one point of this missing seal was dedicated to Jashin Otsutsuki? The reason I think this way is because Amado was trying to revive his daughter while Jashin's signature ability is immortality. Maybe he had found the remains of Jashin and tried to use them in hopes of bringing his daughter back to life. However, as we know from his story, he couldn't get the consciousness of his daughter back, which requires a divine procedure. So he must have given up on experimenting with Jashin and decided to study the miracles of the Kama seal after teaming up with Jigen. The fact that this mark was present on the Kara wall could be a hint that they possess the remains of many more Otsutsukis, including the ones mentioned by Momoshiki. What if Amado had used the remains of more than a single Otsutsuki god to modify his cyborgs? We know the power of omnipotence was possessed by Shibai, so Aida was definitely made up of his genes. But what if Daemon was made by the remains of the god of Hidan, Jashin Otsutsuki? The fact that Daemon's name is way too similar to demon makes me think that Jashin might be the opposite force of a god in Otsutsuki verse, which is devil. Subscribe, as that's a theory for another time. Momoshiki mentioning Otsutsuki gods manipulating humanity's memories can act as a subtle basis for this theory. A popular theory connecting Jashin, Daemon and the Shinoigi clan could really play out here. In a nutshell, it is believed that Jashin was an Otsutsuki who landed in the Valley of Death, where people started to worship him. The fact that he was worshipped can be taken as a hint that he had already become an Otsutsuki god at that time. He must have granted his followers the unique Kekai Genkai, the Ketsuryagan, and before ascending to the higher realm, he might have killed the entire Shinoigi clan and manipulated the memories of people about them. Talking about Hidan, he must have then found some remains and scrolls of Jashin that made him devote his entire life to him. The fact that Amado found the remains of Jiraiya and even Shibai to create his cyborgs, I won't be surprised if he had somehow got his hands on Jashin's remains as well. So what if Aida's powers were extracted from Shibai's remains, while the powers of Daemon are the purest form of Jashin's abilities? We know that Hidan could use his divine ability to inflict damage on his opponent by becoming a living voodoo doll. This was definitely a Shinjutsu, and Daemon might have inherited its original version, the power exclusive to Jashin Otsutsuki, which retaliates each and every attack back to the opponent. Coming back to the heptagram, we have got another symbol that we have already seen in the series. It's the crescent sign of Aida's eyes, which apparently signifies the power to give strength and protection. By looking at the recent role of Aida in the story, it seems like Kishimoto has actually drawn inspiration from the symbolism of the heptagram while writing down his characters. The way Aida provided protection to Kawaki and then granted him the authority of being the Hokage's son, which in turn made him powerful, resonates with the meaning of this symbol. The fact that not one but two plot points can perfectly fit the symbolism of the 7-pointed star, there is a really high chance that the other points of the shape will also have some significance in the story, but that would be a stretch if I started theorizing on them. So let's dive into some other symbolism of the heptagram that could help us in finding out more about this Kama seal. Almost every symbolism that I found out about this shape It turns out that the 7 points refer to the 7 different pieces of information. Like in alchemy, it is used to refer to the 7 planets that were known as the early alchemists. While in the culture of the southern Appalachia, it refers to the 7 different clans of Cherokee people. Considering the 2 points of the heptagram are a reference to the 2 Otsutsukis in the Naruto verse, what if there are other 5 Otsutsukis whose intel was available to the Kara organization? This means Amado knows a lot more than what he has revealed and could potentially have intel on every Otsutsuki who landed on Earth. So who could be these 5 other Kara Otsutsukis? There will soon be the introduction of 2 more Otsutsukis who are being teased for a really long time. Considering that they had turned into gods, as said by Momoshiki, it seems like another big plot point has appeared in the story that could literally change everything. The Kara might actually have the remains of 7 different Otsutsukis, and it could be that they had no knowledge about many of them. As we know, Otsutsuki gods can rewrite histories, and they have already done it before. So even if Kara had somehow found a remain that belonged to an Otsutsuki god other than Shibai, the god Otsutsuki could have easily altered their memories into believing it belongs to Shibai and not him. This enhances the possibility of Demon's powers belonging to Jashin and Amado being in delusion that he was modified from Shibai's remains. The mind-erasing plot point has brought in tons of possibilities in the show. What if Amado has been brainwashed by some Otsutsuki god into thinking he had lost his daughter, while in reality it's just the god Otsutsuki who wants to become an Otsutsuki again with Kawaki's Kama? That's why Momoshiki was suspicious of the old man when he narrated the tale of his daughter. The unknown Kama might actually belong to the Otsutsuki god who's trying to manipulate Amado into fulfilling his ultimate goal. It could be Shibai or even some other Otsutsuki too. Subscribe and I will break down this possibility in the future video. Coming back to our symbol. In Catholicism, it is used as a symbol to wipe off evil. This could even mean that Shibai was not evil, but actually a wise deity who's fulfilling some divine purpose with Boruto's help. It might be that this shape is somewhere on both Aida and Demon's body, explaining their connection to the Otsutsuki god. The seal might simply be the one that was used to transplant the god Otsutsuki's powers into the cyborgs. The same reason how Code ended up becoming more powerful than Jigen, but decided to willingly limit himself for the honor of Ishiki. The white Kama of Code could be him possessing the true power of Shibai Otsutsuki in it. It might also have something to do with his name Code, hinting at the code of Shibai being hidden in the Kama. I will cover that in a future video, so don't forget to subscribe. Also, do you guys remember how Kawaki and Boruto's Kama resonated with each other when they first met? Why did it happen at first place? Well, what if I told you Amado had secretly tried to experiment Kawaki with Shibai's DNA? It might have not worked well, but could have left enough essence in his body which made him capable of resonating with another symbiote of Shibai. Momoshiki is not related to Ishiki, so it does not make any sense. The reason I feel Boruto is strongly related to Shibai is not only because of his horn, but also Momoshiki, who strongly resembles the Otsutsuki god. Now, many of you might argue that Boruto was shown with the Jogan even before Momoshiki's takeover. Well, it could be more of a marketing strategy of the anime production company rather than having some relevance to the plot. Maybe the Jogan is a really big plot device that will entirely change the whole scene of the show. That's why Kishimoto might have told the anime team to tease it before its official manga appearance. The way Momoshiki appeared to give Boruto his Kama after his death is really odd. It should have been logically impossible for him to do so. Not only that, he knows about every Shinjutsu in the universe and was even able to narrate the entire Omnipotence incident. So could it be that he's somehow related to Shibai or Otsutsuki? Find out how I came to this conclusion in this video and be sure to subscribe for more amazing stuff. I will see you next time.